Hello, my favorite Wizard101 people. Today, we're going to be talking about the brand new teasers that Wizard101 dropped. There's two things I want to look at. First of all, we have the community newsletter for July. There's a few things I want to take a peek at, and then there's this video right here that I will play and we are going to discuss because there is a lot to unpack here. So firstly, heading over to the newsletter, of course there's a whole bunch of stuff, but what I want to talk about today is the test realm is coming soon. So looking at this wall of text, there's a few things I want to point out. Intro paragraph, honestly boring as any intro paragraph ever. But the first important thing to point out is that we now know the name of the raid coming in test realm. If you don't know, last test realm for summer, we got a brand new thing. We got guilds and we got raids to go along with that. Now, being a year later, we are finally getting a second raid within Wizard101, and we knew basically nothing about it. But now, not only do we have a picture of the raid, but we know the name, and it's the Crying Sky Raid. So brace yourself for an epic challenge as you and your fellow brave wizards journey back into the ominous world of Azteca, face off against menacing bosses, solve intricate puzzles, and unleash your most powerful spells to claim victory and earn incredible rewards. So it's like they dropped a really nice, like, this is a juicy sentence, right? Like we get the name of the raid, and then they just give us like a second intro paragraph. Don't really care. There's nothing interesting here. But going back to this image, oh boy. First of all, this thing right here with the blue, we know that this is exactly where you're going to spawn in the raid. As you can see, there's like the yellow spots in here. You spawn in the middle, and then everyone's going to end up going their own separate path. Over here in the far back middle, you can see a red drum and a yellow drum. This was a puzzle that we saw in the first raid, and we're finally seeing it return. Very, very excited to see drums back in. The red drum might also be a part of like the temple thing. Not really sure. It's too blurry to tell. But regardless, that yellow thing is a drum. This red thing, we don't know. The last interesting thing to mention is the blue gate back here. In the first raid, there was also gates that kind of separated the stages or the waves of the raid. So there's probably going to be waves again, or some reason we're going to be locked out from this zone back here. Now what I want to talk about is this tweet right here. Oh, sorry. Let me play that from the beginning real quick. Hold on. Let me like it too, just so KI knows I love them. All right, let's watch.
Shibalba wakes. Shibalba walks. Shibalba hungers. Shibalba hatches.
Boom! Isn't that dope? Isn't that dope? Few things I want to point out with this. All right, first of all, the lady that's speaking, she's like Shibalba wakes, Shibalba walks, Shibalba hungers or something. And the one thing, this is the most interesting thing to me, is it says Shibalba hatches.
Shibalba hatches.
And it shows this purple goop thing, which as you can see up close, it has flowers, and you can see it has caused damage to the structure. It has crashed down and exploded. So heading back into the beginning of the video, it opens up, the sky is basically falling. You know, you got like a spiral up here, you're in the storm. Something cool, something that someone else said is that because of the spiral, we are outside of the spiral looking at it. That makes no sense to me, but it's a possible theory, I don't know. Only other thing to mention with this shot is that there's meteors falling down, which is classic Azteca moment. Classic Azteca. Moving on to the next shot, you know, you get this little dude. He's like an aether water spirit. I don't really know. He looks pretty dope. The same model has been seen in Imperia. It's in the like latest Gatorvania dungeon too. There isn't too much that we know about this guy except he's here. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's the final boss. If I'm going to be honest, I will be very disappointed if he is. He just looks kind of boring. He doesn't look that strong. I hope it's a side boss. I really hope that this is not the main final boss within the raid. I hope it's one of many. And the shot right after that is showing basically the view from the ground. A few things to mention here, you know. You got a whole bunch of meteors falling as we watch go pew, pew, right? Meteors explode. Something else is this green thing back here looks really unnatural. It isn't animated itself, but I'm pretty sure that that is a drum. There's a chance that it isn't. There's a chance that it is. We don't really know, but there's a chance that it is part of the drum puzzle that was in the last raid. We just have no clue. If it isn't a drum, I would say that it could be a plant of some sort, but it's really, the color is just off. It's weird. I'm pretty sure it's a drum, but if it isn't, I have no clue what it could be. So that's the entire video. That's everything dissected. Anything that I can point out is whatever, you know. A few other connections that can be made is that this guy up here on this platform, as you can see, he's on top of some sort of pyramid, and there's these two pillars in the background which have like the red trim. The shot right after it, which has the big egg thing, obviously there is like the big pillar, but you do see that there are the more pillars in the background with the red trim. Also, that these shots are not the same exact thing. The top of this pyramid is not this pyramid because there's this big tree in the background. So the fact that this is here means that this is a different pyramid, which means there's going to be many pyramids in the raid, which is going to be pretty cool. And comparing this picture to the video, this shot right here is the same exact thing that you see in this shot. The way that you can tell is because in the video, there's the 2 flowers on top and 2 on the ground. If you look here, there's 2 flowers on the ground, there's 2 up top. It's also perfectly on like the edge of the pyramid. You see this like piece of scrap, like a little broken off to the side. That is right there. So those are the same exact shot. So combining basically everything I just said, knowing that this is a pyramid right here to our left, there isn't a boss that we know of on top of that, which means there's other pyramids with other bosses, which means there's going to be bosses all across the raid. Every single side is probably going to get a boss. And with that being said, that's kind of all the information that we know. There's not too much else that I can personally dig in out of this. If you guys have any theories about the lore of this or how it's going to function, make sure to drop in the comments down below. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Cool little teaser that we got, and peace out. Later.